Hi everybody, and welcome back. And it's time for my two main reasons that I want to see the retelling story of Taken so badly. But before I do that, ladies and dudes, I just want to apologize for making that big mistake back at part 1. Something that I told you about Benjamin Williams. I made a mistake that in my last sentence, about what Benjamin Williams is going to be from the past into the near future. I said about in his past that he was an Irish assassin. I made a mistake on that one, but to tell you the truth is, Benjamin Williams is truly the British assassin, if you know what I mean. So, for what I need to fix in my sentence is that Benjamin Williams was once a British assassin in the past, but all the way to the future, he became the main British guardian for the city of Big Ben. So I really want to clear that up to all of you, and I really do apologize for messing up that sentence. So I can get on to my last two most important reasons for my list. So let's get right to it. At number 2, here is one of the most disappointing things that I'm really upset about from the first Taken movie, and it's the part about Brian Mills' ex-wife Lenore. And this is the most important thing of all the people or the creators. They need to get to know what they're missing from Lenore. Okay, for number 2 is Lenore's regrets. I mean, to tell you the truth is, out of all the movie characters I've seen from here and there, I will say that Lenore is the most regretting movie character of all time. I know I should have put her in number 1 for my top 5 most regretting movie characters of all time. And to tell you the truth is, there is so many things that Lenore needs to feel her regrets for. And thanks to Stuart is the one who made her that way. For becoming selfish, arrogant, very rude, very greedy, and she's not taking things seriously to poor Brian Mills for the last 5 frickin' years ago. And yes, this whole mess was her fault for hurting and betraying her own family, Joss, Kim, and Brian. It's all her fault for letting Kim go to a very unknown place that she doesn't know of, and Lenore doesn't know anything how the world works. It's, something that Brian Mills had already explained to her in the movie. I just wish Lenore should never ask and force Brian Mills to sign that stupid paper for letting their own daughter go to Paris, and also, letting Kim to go to some appearing tour of a rock band called U2. That's not a good idea in the first place. I wish she never made that up. But I will say the most biggest regret that Lenore will ever made is hurting Brian Mills' feelings. And to tell you the truth is, Lenore had truly hurt Brian Mills very badly, and she should have known that from the very beginning if she hadn't been so selfish and so arrogant in the first place. And I decided to make up an idea for a story, when Brian and Ben are heading on to Lenore's house, and I would like to see a part where Benjamin Williams began to snap at Lenore, and he told her so many things that she had done was wrong. And Ben is going to push Lenore really, really hard so he could tell her the awful truth for all the bad things that she did for the last 5 darn years ago. Now that will be frickin' awesome. And yeah, I'm sure Lenore will understand what Benjamin is trying to say, and she'll get really upset about it. And she will know about all the bad things that she had done for the last 5 frickin' years ago. So anyway, Lenore's Regrets deserves to be at number 2. And finally, ladies and dudes, here's the most important thing that I want to see in a Taken Retelling Story for the number 1 spot. And this is the most important thing that I really want to see if the people, the director, the creators, whoever made Taken, I really want to see this part happening. So anyway, ladies and dudes, my number 1 most greatest idea ever for a Taken Retelling Story is we need to find a way to get Brian and Lenore back together. That was the most important thing that I want to see in a Taken Retelling Story. Is I want Brian and Lenore to come back together as one and try to regain their love at long last. And there are so many things I really want to see if Brian and Lenore will ever work things out and become a couple again. I would like to see a part where, yes, after when Ben snapped at Lenore and Lenore began to cry, she ran back upstairs to her bedroom, and then Brian had gone upstairs and tried to talk to Lenore, and I would like to see a part where Brian and Lenore had a heart-to-heart talk without any sign of arguments at all. I would like to see Brian Mills hold Lenore in his arms. He cradled her, and he's trying to tell her that everything's going to be alright. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. I'll find a way to save Kim and bring her home safely. And, I would like to see Lenore keep, still crying, and she felt guilty and bad for all the bad things that she did. And I would like to see a part where Lenore tells Brian Mills that she is very, very sorry for what she did to him in the last 5 years, treating him as not a human being at all, but something else, I guess. And Lenore was wondering if Brian Mills will ever forgive her for, all the bad things that she did was wrong. And deep inside Brian Mills' heart, that he will find a way to forgive Lenore. Now that's something I would love to see happening if Brian and Lenore should quit arguing and try to rework things out in their relationship and try to start their lives all over again from the very top. And for once, could we see Brian and Lenore have sex? I would love to see Brian and Lenore have sex. After, Lenore finally calmed down and she and Brian had an awkward look on their faces, and they began to kiss each other on their lips, and they're gonna get going on their sex. Well, before Brian Mills is going on to his most important mission of his life, to go to Paris, France, and rescue his daughter at all costs before 96 hours will be up. And plus, I would like to see a part where Benjamin Williams was, coming upstairs and tried to knock at a door, see Lenore's okay, and then he heard some type of strange noise, and he found out, he's like, oh, now that's something I haven't heard for a very long time. Lenore is finally going to have sex with her man. Oh boy, it's deja vu all over again. Benjamin Williams, him, he's crazy about Brian Lenore's relationship, and let's just say he's the main Cupid for it. Ha ha ha. So anyway, ladies and dudes, we need to see Brian and Lenore being together again as a couple deserves to be the #1 most greatest idea for Taken Retelling Story. And that is it, ladies and dudes. That is my top 5 most greatest ideas for Taken Retelling Story. I hope you enjoyed this list. And let's just say I did my best for it once again because, I always had trouble making up a sentence or two. And please join me next time for my next top 5 list to come, but I don't know which top 5 list is going to be. Maybe one day I will do my top 5 most regretting anime characters of all time. But let's wait and see what happens, ladies and dudes. So anyway, this is Boobot187, aka Rebecca Lynn Barkley. Sayonara!